Greetings, automotive enthusiast. I've got one of my bucket list cars for you here today. This is a 92 Subaru SVX. These are amazing Japanese supercar from the 90s. You know, it's right in there with the, it was built to compete with the Supra, the 3000 GT, even our RX-7, you know, all of those 90s crazy Japanese GT cars, but the Subaru was really something unique. This is a two-owner car, just turned 100,000 miles on it, and second owners had it for almost 25 years. And this car is in an exceptional condition inside and out, and it's this really awesome tri-coat pearl metallic. And I went ahead and pulled the floor mats out for you, so when we look in the car you can see the actual carpets, but look at the floor mats, they're in excellent condition. And do a little walk around here, and if you'll notice one thing, the wheels are painted pearl to match. That didn't come factory that way. They were silver, but the actual launch car, if you look at the Subaru when they launched this at the Tokyo Motor Show, it was pearl white with pearl white wheels. And there's just something about white with white wheels that just totally trips my trigger. So the car was in super beautiful shape, and the wheels were silver and kind of a little bit dull and faded. And I was kind of like, well, I wanted to refinish the wheels, and I'm like, what better thing to do than to refinish them in the tri-coat pearl metallic to match the car. And they turned out fantastic. Thanks to Dallas at Unique Maintenance for doing an awesome job on the wheels. It just makes the car. I'm sorry, I kind of got gushing on this car. We'll get a little walk around here, and I'll get in and show you the details, and we'll kind of talk about it a little bit as we go. But this car is in excellent shape. It's hard to believe it's got 100,000 miles on it. I mean, there are a few little blemishes on it, but it is exceptional. Let me just kind of show you the hood here from a high angle, because that shows you everything. And there's no dents or dings on the hood. Really nice shape. The owner of this car was real meticulous. This was his baby. And if you look here, very few little teeny chips, barely noticeable, which is really impressive. The lights are gorgeous. Oop, that was just a little piece of dust there. The lights are in gorgeous condition. Look at that. It looks got the projector headlights. The little center light bar lights up as well. I'll have to turn the lights out and show you this car with the lights on and the lights off of the building. But looking across here, the lights are beautiful condition. Looking down at the bumper, you know, there's gonna be a few little nicks and scratches. I'll just kind of give you a pan around. I'm not gonna point out every little thing. You can pause if you want to and look. But I mean, there really is not much to point out. It is excellent. We've done a lot of work to this car too. It was a great car to start with. That's what I've been looking for years. But then I wanted to go ahead and just really give the car the love that it needs. And I'll go over all the details in the driving section of everything that we've done to the car. Here's the fender, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Check out the wheels. They are so cool. And I love them, and they're running the right direction. There's a L right there on the left side and nothing on the right side. And a lot of people will get these. There it is, there's the L. We got Hankook Ventus tires in really good shape, lots of rubber. Ventus V2 concepts. Okay, looking down the side of the car, up high, I don't see anything. As far as dents, get down low on the rocker here. And it is really absolutely incredibly nice. There's one teeny little chip right here in front of the mirror that could be touched up. Just a little teeny touch up there. The windshield is in really nice shape. Really don't see much of anything on it other than I'm sure there's some very minor little pitting or imperfection. And so this cockpit was, designed to look like an airplane cockpit. So it's all blacked out. It actually would be kind of cool to tint the windows a little bit and just give it that whole fighter cockpit look. But then you kind of wouldn't see the interior. So I'm kind of torn on what to do there. I love the black roof. And just, I don't know. And then obviously this window inside of the window is a unique design to this, and then how far the windows drop. Driving this car, it has a view out the windshield and driving experience and position like no other car you'll ever drive. Door handles are super nice. Boy, there's just not much on this car. Let me get down low here. That's a plastic rock guard from the factory. Look at that. And there is no rust on this car. It is pristine underneath. There's the rear wheel. They've just been refinished. I think there's a little, when they mounted them, I think there's a little bitty nick on the edge here and there. A little bitty nick. Kind of hard to mount them without some sort of little imperfection. There's that. Look at the rear bumper though. There's not even any rock pitting on the back of the wheel well where the bumper is. Again, here's our tires, excellent condition. It drives really, really nice. Look at this. So it almost looks like a hatchback car, but it's not. It's actually a coupe. But it has a rear wiper in the back window. That is such a cool, unique design. And then absolutely love the rear spoiler on these. And looking out of the rearview mirror, it's just a really cool look. You can see right through the spoiler, but you do see the spoiler in the mirror, which actually gives it kind of a cool effect in my opinion. I'm gonna show you the taillights here. They are super nice. Subaru SVX. Look, there's not even hardly any call outs on the car. It's very subtle. Matter of fact, when these came out, the question everybody would get asked is, what is that? Nobody even knew it was a Subaru. And for better and for worse. Subaru customers were confused and non-Subaru customers were confused. Going across the back here, again, a few little nicks on the bumper. You'd expect kind of on a rear bumper. Super cool exhaust. These things sound fantastic. It's a horizontally opposed 3.3 liter 6-cylinder. Little nick right there. That's just a water spot there. I'll show you the engine here in a little bit. Oh, this car. See what I was telling you? I mean, there's just hardly any flaws on this car. Looks like a little touched up something right there. That spoiler is so cool. There's some, looks like maybe bird dropping damage or something. Little bit of imperfections on the deck lid. And you can see a few little spots on the roof too. I don't know if they had buffed out or not. I can kind of feel them with my finger. But honestly, I mean, it's nothing that really you catch that close. Here's the rear wheel. Looking down the right side of the car. From what I'm looking, it's really nice. I think I've seen one little teeny tiny ding, right? It's really hard to see. Right there, right there. I mean, again, if you don't get in just the right light, you don't notice it. Just a teeny, yeah, you can kind of barely see it, but I just got lucky and actually noticed it. It's not even, you gotta be just the right light. Rockers are nice. I think there's a scratch over here. Yeah, a little scratch down there. Kind of touched up a little bit. A little scuff right there. Another little scratch. Door handle's nice. Subaru security. Mirrors in beautiful shape. Just look at that paint though. Look at that pearl. That is the real deal. That is gorgeous. Look in here. Fender is nice. One little blot right there. It almost looks like a touch-up or something, but I think I'll see if they can take that off because it kind of stands out because I feel it raised up there. I don't know if it's an accidental little drop or a touch-up or what, and there's a little bitty scratch right there on the fender. There's the right front wheel. Some of that's just some tar road debris. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pop the hood on this guy. All right, we got the hood up here. So look right here. 4 cam, 24 valve, 3300, 230 horsepower, very torquey, very tractable engine, lots of low RPM grunt. You know, the car was really strong in the day. I mean, the 4-speed automatic held it back a little bit on the 0 to 60 times, but once you're rolling, you know, it's really, I would say, sufficient power for this car. You know, it's really kind of a grand touring car. One interesting fact is, you know, I started, my whole venture in this car deal started as just a employee at a salvage yard. And I got here to Wichita in about 1990. And I started working at a foreign salvage yard called Foreign Cars Unlimited. And so think about that. In 1990, that's when all of the 80s cars and everything were coming into salvage. And so that's where I got exposed to so many of these cars. It's such cool cars, and I was fascinated, all of them that came into the salvage. But one interesting tidbit about this car, about this engine, and actually even the predecessor before this, the XT6 Subaru, is people, when these cars would come into the salvage yard, the engines would sell right away, but not for other Subarus. They would go into like experimental aircraft, like light aircraft, and people would use these engines for aircraft because of the compactness and the lightweight and the high power. So they used the 2.7 liter in the XT6. That was 180 horsepower, 85 horsepower. But then when this one came along, this was the bomb. And I remember we used to sell these motors for like $3,500, and kind of a neat little tidbit of history there. But it is absolutely beautiful underneath the hood here. Super nice. I'll show you there's the data tag. Here's emissions and just vacuum routing there. So here's our other little stickers. All right, go ahead and close this. And it's such a cool because it allowed this car to have such a low frontal area. So it's really aerodynamic, really quiet. Watch the way this hood closes. But you see, it's such a flat nose. Look at that right there. Is that cool or what? And look at the little small air intakes. Super cool. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the interior. All right, I got my little light on here. Let's show you the interior, and it is in really, really nice shape. If you know SVXs, this is very challenging to find. Even the Alcantara suede here, look, it's a little bit, what do you call it? Just bunched up or whatever, a little bit on the driver's side. You know, see, normally it would be smooth like that. So you rest your arm there. So it does get a little bit, but most of these are actually wore completely through. And this one is excellent. All of the windows work on this car. Look, it even blows vents out there through the door, through the windows. Look, it's even got a vent for that window and a vent for that window. And this window is the one that rolls down. But that is so cool. We put all new speakers in this car. Talk about that more. And then, oh, the smell. Now this has the automatic seat belts, and they both work. I went ahead and undid the belt just so it's easier to show the car. But this is the retractor here. So watch this, I'll just show you. Close the door. Well, I don't have the key in it. If I had the key in it, it would retract. But I got the key in my pocket because I've locked myself out of cars doing this more than I want to admit. There is our ID tag there. Let's see. It is a, let's see if I get this here. There it is, 12 of 91 production. So this is an early car because 10th would be the first month. So very cool there. And look, even the Alcantara even continues to the back area. Super cool. And then the seats on these cars, these seats are usually destroyed. Our seats are in really, really nice condition. I mean, look at that. And I haven't put anything on these seats. I kind of need to condition them. I'll show you something here. From the sun right here, it's shrunk up a little bit right there. It's a little shriveled and a little dry. Now, if you just keep conditioning that, that'll soften up, and you can probably kind of stretch that and pull that back into place. But really, I mean, you're not really noticing it much, but kind of a flaw, but not a flaw. Power seat on the driver's side, manual on the passenger side. And look, that's why I left the carpets out, the floor mats out, I mean, because I wanted you to see the carpets, and they are perfect. There's our pedals, little footrest, super nice. And here is the cluster. We have 100,001. Well, my phone died. I had to go get a power pack and a cord here, so I got my hands full trying to do this overview. But I've been going at it hard all day, and my phone, I thought I could get through, but my phone gave up. Anyway, here's all your switches. Got your cruise control, fog lights, mirrors, park lights, heated mirrors. You got tilt, steering wheel, and telescopic as well. And then even that lift up is a quick access, so it pops the wheel up. Here is the wood grain, kind of just a faux wood grain, but I like it though because it's kind of a cool pattern. It's kind of just its own look, really. You know what I mean? Not trying to be something. Here, I'll see if I can pop this radio here. It's hard to do one-handed. There is the radio, and it plays perfectly. The speakers were buzzing when I got the car, the factory speakers, so went and had Radio Shop put all brand new speakers in it. Climate control is ice cold. Let me go ahead and fire this up for you here. Hold on a second. Okay, got the key out of my pocket. Just go ahead and fire this guy up. I was jamming when I've been cleaning the car. I've been cleaning this car for probably 4 hours. That's just the interior and just the detailing and the cleaning. Automatic. Air close ice cold. I had the heater on there because I was scrubbing on the carpets. So ashtray, cleaning the ashtray, nothing in there. So there's the radio.
98. Steven, what?
Little Tears for Fears there. Turn that down. And like I said, all the automatic climate control. I wanted to show you this because the display works. A lot of times those displays are burned out. Let's go ahead and turn the lights on, and you can see, well, see now my light's flooding it out. It's kind of cool green. Let me turn the flashlight on the phone off. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of darned if you do, or darned if you don't on the lights. The lights kind of flood everything out. But yeah, check that out. Looks really cool. And one little teeny crack right there by the vent wheel. There's the handbrake. It's kind of an interesting looking handbrake. Looks like a shifter of some kind. But this is full-time four-wheel drive. Cruise control. There's our mirror. Turn my light on here. There is all of that. And then we got the sunroof. And it's there you go. See, it tilts up and slides. There we go, and back. There it is. The visors are in beautiful shape. Mirror works. All the labels are still there. The headliner in this car, I'll try to get a shot when I get out here. It is in immaculate condition. And the dash, the Alcantara across the dash is gorgeous. Dash is perfect. And open the glove box here. And inside the glove box we got all the manuals, all that good stuff. I found this underneath the seat. I don't know what it is. This is really interesting. So it actually hooks in and clamps, and then it's like a little loop and a clamp and a hook. I don't know if it goes to this car or not. Maybe somebody of you can tell me in the comments. So I just threw it in the glove box. All right, and see, here's you can kind of see all the lighting. It all works. Oh, here, let me show you the seat belt. Let me slide in here. The belt's right here. And so it has a separate lap belt, and then the shoulder belt is automatic. But let me show you how that works. And there you go. And boom, you got automatic shoulder belts. And the other side, I guess I can try to show you. And there she goes. And they don't hang up or nothing. They work really, really well. Let me jump out and show you. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off for a bit. Look how it's just idling. Absolutely perfect. It's a really nice car. Really nice. Okay, pull the key out. And flip the seat forward. A little lever right there. And the back seat. The back carpets are perfect. Back seats are perfect. Switch there for the back passenger. Still continues with that wood grain and Alcantara. Go around, and the back deck is really nice. There's your speakers. Looks like we've got a little piece of plastic broke right there. Pop that back into place in a little super glue. Just now noticed it. All right, let's open up the passenger door and see there's the seat belt. Passenger door panel is exceptional. The Alcantara, see, you don't get as much wear on the passenger because you just don't have passengers as much. But there's that. The passenger door panel couldn't be nicer. And there's the Alcantara. Very awesome there. Dash, super nice. Passenger seat is immaculate. And again, like I said, it's a manual on the passenger side. Let's go ahead and flip it forward. And it does it quick. So if you want to get something back, it's best, easiest to do from the passenger side because it has a quick slide forward. There's the back seat. And we got back ashtray, I guess. Console goes all the way back. Slide the seat back so I can get in. Okay, you see the carpets, perfect. Perfect on the carpets. And I'm trying to get in here to show you the console since I forgot there from the other side. What's in the console? I don't even know. Nothing. Nice big cubby hole console. Works very good. Got a power outlet right there for your phone. Oh, let me show you the headliner here. How professional, huh? Alrighty, and in here is a nice full view of the headliner. Like I said, it is perfect. All right, there. Oh, I gotta show you the trunk. Duh. Getting ahead of myself. There's a trunk pop on the inside. I'll just do it that way. Right here, gas and trunk pop. And the one thing, this car has the smell. You know me, I'm all about the smells. And if you Subaru people out there know what I'm talking about, of early 90s Subarus, they have their own smell and it is awesome. So here's in the trunk, there's the original rear speakers. I kept them for some reason. There's a transmission filter kit we're getting ready to put in. I just haven't had a chance to put that in yet. We're going to service the transmission. It's shifting perfectly, just preventative. And there's the spare, tool, jack, and tire. All of that. And there is the trunk. It's nice. I guess I forgot to vacuum it a little bit, but you can see how nice it is. But here's something else to look at. Look at the jams of this thing. There is not a single rust bubble. Here's where you add washer fluid for the rear wiper. Isn't that cool? But look at the back of this car and the jams and everything. This car is fantastic. I have had so much fun driving this car, and I am going to continue to drive it. So the miles will continue to creep up a little bit. So talking about driving, let's jump in and go for a drive. Yay. Okay, we are on board Spaceship SVX. I love this car. Look at this. So cool. Look at the way the radio's hidden there behind the deal. Check out the tunes. We've got some tunes here. Always, there we go. Some 80s. So, yeah, the radio had all the speakers replaced because they were buzzing. So all 4 speakers replaced. Plays good here. But let's take off in the SVX, get it up on the highway and talk about it. All right, here we go. 230 horsepower, all-wheel drive, 4-speed automatic. Here we go. Highway here, absolutely just super comfortable. I've actually driven this car quite a bit, and just super quiet. It's so ahead of its time. And the cabin, you can kind of tell a little bit from the camera, but it's really a very, very unique experience driving this car. I'm gonna get up on the highway here and kind of cruise it for a minute. Everything works: cruise control, climate control, everything. We've done a lot of work to this car. I've looked for a nice example for years, and you know, any one of these cars you find is probably going to still need some things, and but it's nice to start with the best one that you could find. Bought this one here from the second owner. I think he's had it for like 20 years, and he was really passionate about the car. Took great care of the car, kept it in the garage the whole time. You could just tell it's just in beautiful condition. But so some of the stuff that we've done to the car, the rear struts were completely gone, and I got really lucky. Subaru made you know, sometimes manufacturers, they'll make a run of parts, okay, you know, every couple years or something. And funny thing is, I'm on Facebook on some of the Subaru pages, and somebody was like, yeah, hey, Subaru made a run of rear struts. And so there's new rear struts available. The next morning I got on the phone with the Subaru dealer, and there was 1 pair left of brand new SVX rear struts. And so I got really lucky there. And so we put new rear struts in. And then also too, the rear wheel bearings were noisy, another common Subaru thing. And so we got brand new rear wheel bearings installed and went with the best quality. I think they were Timken or SKF or something like that. I don't recall the box, but I know I bought the best bearing that you could buy. Nothing cheap on that. And then had a 4-wheel alignment done. The car had a lazy tack, which is a real common thing. So when I had the car at the radio shop to get the speakers put in, you know, that's what they do. They do radio repair and all that stuff. And, you know, and so, I mean, really what's the difference of a tachometer to a radio? It's all the kind of same thing. But again, the pages saved my butt, you know, talking about, you know, hey, there's just a little diode or capacitor that goes bad and causes that issue. And because I had a jumping speedometer as well, so I had a lazy tack and a jumping speedometer. And so I asked the guys at the radio shop, said, hey, is that something you can do? And they're like, sure. And so they pulled the cluster out and resoldered in brand new little capacitors or diodes. I can't remember what it was. And then the nice thing about it, there was a YouTube video that also showed the process. So it was real easy for them. They just had to order the parts, and but it was real easy for them to do. So they put the cluster back in, and then my speedometer was still jumping around. And what I initially thought was the speed sensor, and but while they had the cluster out, I told them, just, you know, well, let's go ahead and do the capacitors on the speedometer as well, since it's a common, you know, failure item. So they did those and put it back together. The tack fixed perfectly. Speedometer was still jumping, and then sure enough, pulled out the speed sensor, and it was catching and binding. And so luckily the dealer we got a brand new OEM speed sensor for it, so that was a nice thing. So like I said, we just doing all that stuff. The body of this car is in such beautiful condition. The paint and the body is so nice. The wheels were originally silver, and the silver finish wasn't very good on them. Looked like maybe somebody had sprayed some really high acid wheel cleaner on them or whatever. And anyway, or just age or whatnot. But the wheels didn't look as nice as the rest of the car. Normally I wouldn't really mess with that, but I was like, this car is so nice, and I'm having so much fun, reconditioning this car, that I decided to have the wheels refinished. And here's the deal. Oop, I gotta speed up a little bit. Yeah, I got the cruise control set right now. Look, its cruise control's running. So what I did was the launch vehicle, the show vehicle for the SVX, was a pearl white SVX with pearl white wheels. And I love white cars, white wheels. It's a thing of mine. And so I thought, well, if I'm going to refinish the wheels, let's do something cool. And that's what I did. This idiot going 100 mile an hour just by me here. I'm doing 60. The speed limit 60. He's doing about 80. But anyway, so I'm like, if I'm going to spend the money to refinish the wheels, let's go all the way. And so had unique maintenance. We pulled the wheels off, pulled the tires off. The tires are in really, really good shape, so we didn't have to do anything there. And plus, some of my wheels were on the wrong direction anyway. It's common, people mess up, and I think 2 of my wheels were in the wrong direction initially. So this is a tri-coat pearl metallic. And so I had them refinish the wheels factory spec to the paint of the car. And it is so cool. I love this car. I have to look back and see how many miles I put on it, but I've enjoyed it. I've driven it. I drove it through the winter. I had some fun driving it in the snow, and I was doing some drifting down my lane in the snow. This car was great. I mean, this car was fun. But trying to think here of all the things that we've done. The brakes, look, the steering, it's perfect. Just perfect. So the only thing the car, car needs, we haven't completely restored the car, obviously, but about the only thing that I could kind of note, there's a tiny, tiny rattle in the front suspension. And I thought it was all the rear struts, but we fixed that, and so a lot of that went away. But it sounds like a sway bar end link or something. It's just a real light, you hit little undulations, light undulations, and you hear a little bit of a clunk, which sounds, like I said, like sway bar bushings or sway bar end links. So you're riding along, and the phone actually picks up all noises, and you're not even hearing it. So you only hear it in certain little bitty low speed situations. So, but I'm just pointing everything out and being picky. Let this truck go by here. I don't like pacing trucks. I always slow down to change our gaps and then resume my speed. I never just pace the truck. They blow a tread or something and it goes through your windshield. So I lost my train of thought there. Okay, so we've done a lot to this car, and it's like right now the air conditioning's ice cold, radio plays, cruise, drives perfectly straight. You see there's no vibrations, dead quiet. Oh, here we're on some nice pavement now. Yeah, it's just awesome. So things that it could use, just further maintenance or whatever. I haven't done a timing belt on it, and the good thing about these is they're non-interference engines. So at some point in time, I don't know when it's been done. Maybe it's been changed, maybe it hasn't. I don't know the history of the timing belt. And then the valve covers, one or both of them have a small leak on the valve cover. Just typical old car stuff. And, but really that's about it. And so obviously I, do the timing, do the valve cover gaskets when you do the timing belt service in the future, whenever that is. You could drive this car just like it is for who knows how long. But yeah, that's about it, and for an SVX, I don't know if you guys, for those of you that don't know them much, or those of you that know them well, know how hard it is to find a nice, clean example. That, I mean, I said, this car can still use a few little things, but that's amazing. That's very, very little. Most of these cars are unfortunately way gone. They've got rust on them, lack of maintenance, just all of that stuff. So I really enjoyed taking this car, and I'm just going to continue to drive it and enjoy it till it sells. Because that's why I bought this car, is to drive it. And the look out the windshield it's really like nothing else you'll ever drive. It is really a unique driving experience. Absolutely love it. You got the little window inside the window, and you see that, and all 4 windows even work, and sometimes those don't work. Sunroof works. Slow, needs lubricated a little bit. Of course, I'd say that, then it's sticking, but I've opened the sunroof up several times. Yeah, I'm just sitting here idling. Idle's perfect. It's a really nice car. The dash is great. The Alcantara leather, this is actual suede leather all around the dash and all around the door panels. It's in really nice shape. The driver's side, as you saw in the detailed video, is showing some matting, I guess you might call it, because your arm sits on it. So that's just kind of par for the course. I think it's impossible probably to keep the driver's one from having issues or whatnot. But these are really great cars. One thing that I haven't done yet that I'm going to do is I have a transmission. I forgot about this. So I have a filter kit, a service kit for the transmission. So I'm going to have the transmission serviced and service it with all BG fluids and everything. So I'm going to service the transmission. I've already got the filter kit. I just haven't had a chance to do that. So that will be done. These transmissions, they've been a known weak spot on the car, but maintenance is really key on those. So, and then one thing that some people have done, and I probably won't have the car long enough to do it, but some people have actually added an additional auxiliary oil cooler for the transmission up front, which is something really easy to do. The tranny cooling lines go to the radiator. Well, you just tap into that and loop one around and put a little oil cooler up in there. You find a little spot behind the bumper. So that's one good suggestion for the long-term owner to consider. Currently this transmission shifts absolutely perfect, and some people drive them 200,000 miles and have no problem. I think the ones that have problems are ones that get neglected and abused. But yeah, this thing absolutely shifts perfectly. Just love the car, and it's really cool. I just noticed this. You don't see it from inside the car, but it kind of looks like it might be a hatchback, but it's not. It's actually a trunk lid car, but it has a rear wiper in the glass on a coupe car, which is very unusual, which is very nice, And then it's a cool view through the back window. I see that big wing spoiler and then that wiper there. So I feel like I'm driving a hatchback. But I think the seats do flip forward though, so you do get some access and some extra storage. But yeah, lots to talk about on this car. Lot of fun. But the driving position is just really kind of laid back, and I could take this car long distance, cross country. That's really what this car is. It's a great GT car, Grand Touring car, and and it's so cool. And when it came out, I remember these at the dealer, and I remember looking at the sticker, and it was like over $30,000. I think MSRP was in the high 20s, but I think they were marking up sticker, at that time. But yeah, so it was in the same league. It competed with all of the Japanese supercars, the Supra, the 3000 GT, the RX-7 to an extent, just all of those cars of that era. This is really kind of an overlooked and unknown car. I mean, 230 horsepower is good power. It's got good torque. But it's a heavier car. So and with the automatic transmission, it wasn't really the quickest car, but a very capable car. And actually, if you look in the forums and stuff, very popular to manual swap these cars. This one's too nice to touch, but they do manual 5-speed and 6-speed conversions on these cars, which, you know, like I said, that'd be something for a long-term owner to consider. You know, I wouldn't do this personally. I wouldn't do that to this car, me. But if somebody wanted to do that to this car, you know, and they were going to plan on keeping it forever, that's something to consider. I think they get it from a Subaru Legacy, but yeah, so it's kind of cool things to do, and you just don't see these cars on the road very often. You really don't. You know, it's just such a cool look and a cool design. When I've been driving this car around, it's amazing. You know, when these sold, you know, they were very expensive. Subaru lost, I forget what the number is, I should have looked it back up, but they lost a substantial amount of money on every one of these cars that they sold. There was a lot of, you know, there are some common parts with other Subarus, but this is really a bespoke car. And Subaru, you got to take your hat off to them for taking a chance and going crazy. But they put so much engineering into making a flagship car, and they lost millions on this car. You know, which makes it kind of special today, because that's what makes them kind of rare. They didn't sell that many of them, and there's even fewer existing today. But you think about back in 1992 when you walk into your Subaru dealership, you know, I mean, they're all boxes. You know, the Loyal, the Legacy. The Legacy was starting that trend of a little bit smoother, you know, in 92. But still, though, your idea of Subaru was just this sedan company. And then you walk to the Subaru dealer, and it doesn't even have like Subaru all over the car, you know? So it's like one of the biggest things. It's funny, you go watch the Motor Week, video of this car back in the day, and they said the number one thing when they test drove it was people were like, what is that? You know, nobody even, and to this day, people see it and do not know what it is. It makes it fun, you know, and with this color combination, it's just spot on. You know, one thing that'd be cool to do would be to do a clear ceramic window tint on this car, and I wouldn't want to tint the windows because it looks so cool, you know, seeing the cool interior. But, you know, it'd be kind of cool to do that. Again, you know, something like if I were keeping this car indefinitely, that's something that I would do. There's a lot of glass, you know, area in this car. But you can put the windows down here. Check this out. So I got the window down, and one of the things about the car was you could drive with the window down and it not be noisy and not be buffeting. So that was kind of one of the cool, you know, thoughts behind all of that. And it's really cool. So there's kind of a longer drive than normal, but that's actually the most fun part anyway. And I wanted to cover everything in this car for you. Trying to think if there's anything I'm missing, but I'm sure, you know, take a look at our website. There'll be I haven't updated the pictures yet, but I'm going to do that here in the next couple of days. I took pictures of it when I got it with the silver wheels, but I haven't done the updated pictures with the, you know, plus I had Van Gogh polish it and had unique PDR, a couple little things on it and everything like that. So I need to do the updated picture gallery. So stay tuned to our website for that. But man, I want to take a trip. Radwood's actually this weekend, and man, would this be an awesome car to drive to Radwood down in Austin? It's about 9 hours from me. That would be super cool. But anyway, I appreciate you guys riding along. I hope you enjoyed the overview. I hope you enjoyed the ride along. Like and subscribe if you would. Hit that notifications button, because you never know when we might have your next dream car. Have a great day and happy motoring. I promised you a little shot with the lights on. It's kind of cool, actually, just some ambient lights. This. I love this car. Oh my gosh. Love, love, love. Look at the tail, those thin bar lights. So cool. Show you the interior here. I got the seat belts hooked back up. Man, late 80s through the 90s, early 2000s maybe. Peak automobile in my book.